Good morning, students.
Good morning, teacher.
Okay, how are you? Okay, thank you. I'm fine too. Today we will learn about the unit Earth and Life History, and the topic, the formation of sedimentary rocks. And before we start, I want you all to remember this question first. First one, what did you see from the video? And the second is, what are the three steps of the formation? Okay, now I will give you 2 minutes to answer this question. Okay, we are going to watch the video.
Sedimentary rocks are a process that takes millions of years. Last lesson, we learned about push and pull forces. In this video, we will be learning how sedimentary rocks are formed. Sedimentary rocks are formed through the process of weathering, erosion, deposition, compaction, and cementation. Weathering is the process of rocks being broken down into smaller rocks by growing plants. Gravity, heat, wind, water, ice, acid, oxygen, and living organisms. Erosion is the movement or transportation of sediments from one place to another. Sediments can be transported to a new location by moving water, wind, and ice. Deposition is when these sediments are drawn off into a new place. Gravity pulls the floating particles of other rocks, minerals, or once living organisms towards the floor and settles in there. Compaction is a process that takes place over millions of years, by which sediments are compressed or squeezed together by the weight of added layers above. The particles are pressed together so tightly that it squeezes out air and liquids until the layer becomes solid. Cementation is the bonding or sticking together of these sediments and the formation of new rocks. When a body of water dries up, or if the Earth's plate shifts, it can expose the sedimentary rock below the surface. Earlier we learned, sedimentary rocks are formed through the process of weathering, rocks being broken down, erosion, the movement and transportation of these rocks, deposition, the dropping off of sediments, compaction, the squeezing and pressure added, cementation, the bonding or gluing together of sediments that form new rocks.
Okay, now the video already finished. Okay, students, after we watch the video, let's see the two questions again. Here is the question. For the first one, what did you see from the video? Okay, I will ask A. A, what did you see in the video? A, what did you see in the video?
Sedimentary rock.
Sedimentary rocks. Yes. Sedimentary rocks. Yeah, that's very good. Clap your hand for it, please. Okay, good. And for the second question, what are the three steps of the formation? Okay, three steps of the formation. I will ask Titan. Titan, what are the three steps of formation?
Inversion, compression, and diversion.
Oh, clap your hand for Titan, please. Okay, that's very good. And today, like I said, we will learn about the sedimentary rocks. Okay, and before we start all of things, we will learn the vocabulary first. It is the 5 words that you need to learn: deposit, sediment, compaction, squeeze, and cementation. And before we start, I will tell you the directions of this part. For the first one, you need to listen carefully 2 times. Listen carefully 2 times. And then you need to repeat after the sound. Repeat after the sound, okay? Okay. Now, let's see the first word. The first word, let's hear.
Deposit. Deposit.
Okay, your turn. Okay. Deposit is something when you need to read in somewhere. Like when you have the position and when you deposit, it means you lift it up, something like that. Like you see in the picture, the rocks is deposited from somewhere and it fall down to the ladies. And here is the example of the sentence. Okay, let's hear it one time.
The deposited sediments build up in layers on top of each other.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, the deposited sediments, you see here is the first layer and here is the last layer. The deposited is mean when you move forward the sediments here and here and here, that we call the deposited, and it's mean layer. And here is the second verse. Okay, let's hear the word 2 times. Okay.
Sediment. Sediment.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, sediment. Sediment is mean solid material or little rocks like you see in this picture. Here is rocks, but it is very small. So we call it sediment. Sediment. And here is the sentence. Okay, let's see.
These high temperature and pressure help transform sediments into sedimentary rocks.
Okay, now your turn. With the high temperature and the pressure, is help sediment to be the sedimentary rocks, like you see in the picture. All of it is high temperature. And here is the next word.
Compaction. Compaction.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, compaction is the process when the sediments are already deposited. And when it's deposited, like first, second, and third layer, it will pressure the layers and it will form a lot like this. The rocks will stick together to form. Okay? And okay, here is the example of the sentence.
Compaction is a decrease in volume brought about by weight pressure.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, that's very good. The compaction is a decrease in volume, what about by weight pressure? Like you see in the picture, now the sediments are already formed, almost formed. I must say almost formed. Okay, and it will be laid like this with the pressure. And here is the next one.
Squeeze. Squeeze.
Okay, now your turn. Squeeze. Squeeze. Squeeze, it means when you to press something very hard, press something very hard. Right? The orange in this picture, we squeeze. Squeeze. Yeah. That is squeeze, okay? And here is the example of the sentence squeeze. Okay, let's see.
As more and more layers build up, the weight squeezes fine weathered sediments down to stick together.
Okay, here is the sentence say, as more and more layers, which is, here is the layer. And as more as it has, it will have the pressure to compaction the rocks, the sedimentary rocks. So we call it squeeze. Something like that. Now the last one.
Cementation. Cementation.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, cementation. Cementation is the process that materials will form together or gather together. Like you see in the picture, all of the sediments have the water to stick around. And when the water gone, the minerals will stick in here. We call it cementation. Okay, like you see in the picture here. Let's see the same paper.
Cementation is the process by which sediments are joined together to form rocks.
Yes. That is what it is. The cementation, you will see the rocks here will stick together with the water, like I said. And it will join together to form our rocks. Okay, we will learn later what is the rock in this part. And the next, we will learn the structure. Present simple tense. before we start, I will tell you how this part will go. Okay, I will explain how present simple use, okay, in this part. And here is the usage of it. We use the present simple to explain the fact or something always true. That's what we use present simple. Okay. Okay. Here is the form. Okay. For this form, we will use subject plus verb. Okay. Subject is the thing that used with the noun, and verb is the verb. Okay. I will choose someone to give me the example of subject. Okay. I will choose who. Who? Shana. Okay, I will choose who Shana. Who Shana, can you tell me the example of subject? Yeah, I will be the initiative. Yeah, I will be the initiative, and every noun can be subject. Okay, for the next one, I want someone to give me the example of verb. Okay, how about me? Me, can you tell me the example of verb? Is, sleep, go, something like that, right? Okay. Is, sleep, go, something like that. Yes, verb can be is, and are, will, with, and etc. So here is the example of a sentence. Okay, let's hear the audio first.
The weight squeezes fine weathered sediments down to stick together.
Okay, here is the video you see. The weight squeezes fine weathered and sedimentary down to stick together. We call compaction. So I will ask someone to define where is the subject. Okay, I will ask Han, can you tell me where is the subject in this sentence? Subject. Yeah, good. The weight. The weight is the subject in this sentence. Yeah, very good. Clap your hand for yourself. Okay. And the next one, I want someone to point out where is the verb one in this sentence. Okay. How about Titan? How about Titan? Titan, can you point out where is the verb one?
Squeeze.
Yeah, squeeze. Yeah, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah, here is the verb one. Clap your hand for your friend. Very good. And the next example. Here is the next example.
Sedimentation is the process by which sediments are joined together to form rocks.
Okay. Here is the sedimentation again. It's form the rocks with the layer here. Okay, I will ask someone to point out where is the subject in this sentence. Okay, I will ask Dim Jae. Dim Jae, can you tell me where is the subject in this sentence?
Compensation.
Again?
Compensation.
Cementation.
Cementation.
Yes. Cementation. Yes, good. Clap your hand for your friend. Okay, how about verb one in this sentence? I will ask by verb. By verb, can you tell me where is the verb one? Not correct now. Not correct. Han, can you help by verb where is the verb one? Is. Okay, is. Okay, let's see. Yeah, is the verb one in this sentence. Okay, clap your hand for my verb and Han. Okay, that's all for the present simple tense. I think you all should know that. And the next one, we will learn about the passage, the transformation process of sedimentary rocks. Again, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, now we are going to learn about the passage, the transformation process of sedimentary rocks. Okay, before we start, I will tell you the direction first. First of all, I will hand out the passage here. And then I need you to listen to the audio one time, and then you repeat after the sound. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. So I will hand out your passage. Okay, here and here. Okay, so thank you. Okay, Now I will let you listen to the audio one time and then you repeat after the sound. And here is the first one.
The deposited sediments build up in layers on top of each other as more and more fresh sediments are brought down and laid over them.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, here is the text. The deposited sediments is built up in layers, like you see in the video. Yeah, and when it's built up the layers, it will form the rock. It will form the rocks that out of this passage. Okay, and the next. Okay, again, listen to the audio and then repeat.
As the depth of the buried sediments increase, they are subjected to higher temperature and pressure. These high temperature and pressure help transform sediments into sedimentary rocks.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, as you see the video, you will see the layers, more and more layers are pressed and with high temperature, and it will be sedimentary rocks after they press and then they have the high temperature. Okay, you will see this. Let's see the next passage. Okay.
Compaction and cementation are two processes involved in the transformation of sediments into rocks along with high temperature and pressure.
Okay, now your turn. In forming the sedimentary rocks, they have two steps that you need to remember. It is compaction and cementation. You will see in the next slide what is this going to do. What it is going to do. Okay, let's see. Here is the compaction. Okay, read after the slide.
Compaction is a decrease in volume brought about by weight pressure. Compaction occurs after the sediments have been deposited.
Okay, now your turn.
Decrease in
Okay, I will show you. The compaction is mean the pressure that do something with the sediments, and it will happen after the layers. The more layers have the high temperature, and you will see here. Okay, let's see what the sentence says.
When more and more sediments are deposited on top, the weight on the sediments below increases. The top layers push down on the bottom layers and squeezes the particles together.
Okay, now your turn.
Together.
Okay, again, together. Together. Okay, together. Okay, here is the thing. More and more sediment are deposited. Like here, let's pretend this is the example. This is the sediment, and this is the another sediment. And when they have the pressure, it forms the rock like this. With the pressure, it will form the rock like this. So that is to say, it will squeeze. Squeeze is mean. Squeeze is something when you have the high pressure or extremely high pressure in the things. Okay, let's see the next slide. Okay, I will turn on the audio one time.
As more and more layers build up, the weight squeezes fine weathered sediments down to stick together, forming into a sedimentary rock.
Okay, now your turn. I will give you another example. This is we call sediments. We call sediments. Here we call sediments. Let's pretend it is the sediments, and then you have some layer and push it down like this. So we will say it is squeeze the 5 sediments. 5 sediments. So after you squeeze, you will form the rock. The good rock like this. You see the hard one like this. That is we call squeeze to 5 sediments. And it will forming the sedimentary rocks. Like you can see in the picture here. Here is the sedimentary rocks. For example, limestone, church, shale, and sandstone. That is we call sedimentary rocks. Now let's see what this sentence says.
Sedimentation is the process by which sediments are joined together to form rocks. Sedimentation happens when dissolved minerals fill in the spaces between the sediment particles.
Okay, now your turn.
Cementation is the process by which sediments are joined together to form rocks. Cementation happens when dissolved minerals fill in the space between the sediment particles.
Okay. Here is the process of cementation. When you have the liquid, okay, when the water fill in the space of the layers, it will form the rocks, and you will see, it will form the rock by stick sediments together. Okay, you will see here.
These liquid minerals act as glue or cement to bind the sediments together. This occurs when minerals are deposited between sediments. When minerals harden, the sediments are cemented together and a solid sedimentary rock is formed.
Okay, now your turn.
These cement minerals act as glue, sediments to bind the sediments together. These organic minerals are deposited in sediments. When minerals harden, the sediments are cemented together, and a solid sedimentary rock is formed.
Okay, like you can see in this video, you will see that after the liquid has disappeared, the mineral act as glue, and then it forms the sediments into the rocks. Let's see the next slide. This slide is about the type of rocks, type of sedimentary rocks. Okay, let's see.
There are 3 basic types of sedimentary rocks. Each of them are formed from a different kind of sediment.
Okay, now your turn. like you see in the picture, there are three types of sedimentary rocks. The first one is plastic, the second one is chemical, and then the last one is organic. Each of them has the type of stone in there. Okay, you will see in the next slide. Okay, here is the next slide. Okay, I will turn on the audio again.
1. Plastic sedimentary rocks such as breccia, conglomerate, sandstone, and shale are formed from mechanical or physical weathering debris.
Okay, now your turn. Okay, like you see in the picture, the form of the plastic rocks, they will form by the weather, you see here. It can form by rain, it can form by the storm, it can form by everything that is physical in the natural. And after it form, they will got the stones like this picture. The first one is conglomerate, and the next one sandstone, shale, breccia, siltstone, and then mudstone. That's all for the plastic sedimentary rocks. Let's see chemical sedimentary rocks. Okay, I will turn on the audio again, and then you repeat after the sound.
2. Chemical sedimentary rocks are formed from chemicals, elements dissolved in water. Lakes, rivers, oceans, and groundwater all have elemental chemicals dissolved in them.
Okay, now your turn.
Sedimentary rocks are formed from chemical elements dissolved in water, lakes, rivers, oceans, and groundwater. All have elemental chemicals dissolved in them.
Okay, here I will explain about chemical sedimentary rocks. It forms from the chemical substance. Okay, you will see the experiment in this video. You will see they got the salt in the water and then it evaporates to be the rocks right here. You will see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, after they pick up, you will see it's really like crystal. It's really like crystal, so it can form rocks. So, in the stone in this type of chemical sedimentary rocks, you see gypsum, travertine, rock salt, and then chert. Here is the things. And the last slide. Okay, let's listen to the sound.
3. Organic sedimentary rock is formed from substances that were once living, plant and animal. When animals with shells die, their shells sink into the ocean floor. As layers of shells build up, they harden into a rock.
Okay, now your turn.
Organic sedimentary rocks is formed from substances that were once living, that animal with shells die, their shells sink into the ocean floor. As layers of shells build up, they harden into a rock.
Okay, like you see in these organic things, is the example of the animal, the example of the plants. After the million of years, they will have the layer of the above it, and then it will form these rocks. We call organic sedimentary rocks. It is the peat. Peat is from the plants, the water plants. And here is the lignite. Lignite is from the animals like dinosaur, like crocodile, something like that. So the last one is coal. Coal is from the dry dry plants. So it can be ignited to have a fire. Okay, that's all for the passage.